Hello viewers, welcome to Mathathon. Today's video we'll be looking at the perimeter of composite figures. Now you may ask, what is perimeter? This is the distance around a two-dimensional shape. Now you may also be wondering, what are composite shapes or figures? A composite shape or figure is a two-dimensional figure made up of basic two-dimensional shapes such as triangles, rectangles, circles, semicircles, etc. Now here are two examples of composite figures. Now with these two here, we can see that we can use broken lines to divide them to show the different shapes that they are made up of. Here we found that if we put some broken lines to divide this shape, we're seeing two different figures. This is what makes it a composite shape or figure. Also over here, we can do it just the same to show that this figure is made up of two different shapes, right? And this is what makes it a composite figure. We could also do it this direction to show that it makes two or more figures. Alright, so remember now, a composite figure or shape is made up of two or more dimensional figures. Now we want to know the perimeter of composite shape or figures. Now when doing these questions, we can either have missing sides that we'll have to find, or all the sides can be given. In this case, there are some missing sides. I first always recommend that you identify the missing sides. So if we look around, remember the perimeter is the distance around, right? It's the distance around, but in this figure we don't have the measurement for the distance around, and remember this figure is not drawn to scale. Alright, so I'm going to put a question mark at the missing sides. So there's a missing measurement here, also over here. Now how are we going to identify these figures? Firstly, we're going to look at the smaller side, the shorter side, right? Now because this side is going downward or vertically, we're going to identify all the vertical lines on this figure. So here we have 10 and we have 9 centimeters, 10 centimeters and 9 centimeters. Now if here, along here is 10 centimeters, it simply means that if I put a broken line to measure or to let it look similar to over here, it should also be 10 centimeters, right? But we only have 9 out of the 10 centimeters. So what is here? What is the measurement for here? We're simply going to take 9 centimeters from 10 centimeters to get 1 centimeter. So therefore, this question mark here, this side is equal to 1 centimeter. Now it should be equal, right? So once I add 9 plus 1, I should get 10, which is also equal to over here, because remember we used our broken lines to let it look like a level, right? So that question mark there represents 1 centimeter. Now for the second question mark, now this line, it's going across, it's going horizontal, right? So we're going to look at all the lines in this figure that are going horizontal. In this case, we have 14 centimeters and we have 8 centimeters. Now, for us to identify this, we can use the same concept. Let me erase what's here. So we can use the same concept, right? To say we already have, all right, so we know here is 1. Let me write it back. So here is 1 centimeter, and we're going to use the same concept here. So if we know that here is 14 centimeters, that simply means if I use my broken lines here, right, to complete the line at the top. It should also be 14, but we only have 8. Now, how are we going to get the measurement here? We're going to simply subtract 8 from 14, which will give us 6 centimeters. Alright, so now we have all sides. We have all the sides here. So this measurement is now 6, and the first one was 1 centimeter. Now we're not yet finished. We have to find the perimeter, right? We have to find the perimeter of the entire figure here. Now how do we find the perimeter? I want you to pause the video and attempt solving the perimeter, and then you'll share your answer with what will be shown afterwards. Alright, so let's work it together. So here we are going to add the 8 centimeters plus the 1 centimeter plus the 6 centimeter plus the 9 centimeter plus 14 plus 10 centimeter. And I want you to comment below what you got for your answer. I'm giving you some time to pause the video and comment below what you got for your answer. So let's see if we're on the same page. Alright, so in this case, our perimeter would have been 48 centimeters. Now I hope you got this correct. Pretty simple concept. We just have to focus and remember we're working with the lines, so we're looking for the missing sides, and we're working along the lines to see where we have horizontal or vertical. We're going to find the missing side, and then we're going to find the perimeter by adding all the sides. Alright, let's try another example. Now in this case we also have 2 missing sides, so one is here and one is also here. Alright, so we're not going to look at the first one that's going downwards or vertically. We're going to identify all the other sides that are going that direction and then try and find the missing side. So we have 6 centimeters and we also have one showing 1 centimeters. We're going to subtract in this case, right? Because if here is 1 and over here is 6, if I have my broken lines here, all of this should also give me 6. So when I subtract 1 from 6, I should end up with what? 5. Very good. So that means this question mark here represents 5 centimeters. Alright, and then for the other question mark, we're going across or horizontally. So we're going to look at the 7, also the 2. In this case, if here is 7, here should also be 2 if here is 2. So we're going to add. So if we add 7 plus 2, what will we end up with? 9. Very good. So therefore, this question mark here represents 9 centimeters. Now for us to find the perimeter, I want you to pause the video and attempt solving the perimeter and then share your response in the comments below to see if we're on the same page. Alright, excellent. So in this case, the perimeter is 30 centimeters. Alright, pretty simple concept. Remember, we're using the same principle across. There are times when we have to add, there are times when we have to subtract, but we have to look and reason the question and then find the perimeter by adding all the missing sides or all the sides. The sides given along with the missing sides. There will be times when we'll get all the sides and there will be times when we have to find the missing side. Alright, so I have one more for you. I want you here to identify for me where are the missing sides. Alright, so we have one here, and we also have another here. Perfect. Now, how are we going to go about solving it? Now remember, we're going to look at the first one at the top, which is going across or horizontally. We're going to find all the other sides that are going that direction. In this case, it is the 5 and the 2. Now, if here is 5 and here is 2, it simply means that here is also 2, right? So we're going to add. So if we add 5 and 2, it will give us what? 7 centimeters for this one. Hope you're agreeing with me. And then for this direction that's going vertically, we're going to look at the lines that are also going vertically. We have 10 and 3. Now if here is 10, I hope you agree with me that here, if I draw a broken line here, or a line to depict the entire line over here, it should also give me 10. But I only have 3 out of the 10. How am I going to find the missing side here? Correct, we're going to subtract. And when we take 3 from 10, we end up with what? 7. So that simply means that this here is also 7 centimeters. Now for the perimeter. I want you to pause the video and attempt the perimeter for me. And then you're going to compare it with what will be shown afterwards. Alright, so I hope you got that correct. The perimeter, in this case, when we add all sides, it will give us 34 centimeters. Now, the concept, remember, is to find the perimeter of composite shapes or figures, and the sides can be missing or they can be given. So if it is missing, you look along the sides, you find it, and then you add all the sides to find the perimeter. Remember, the perimeter is the distance around the shape. Now, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.